Hello everyone, my name is Simeon Banda. Once again, I'm going to present Primary 6 Mathematics for this term 1, 2021. And in this lesson today, we are going to look at measurement. Under measurement, we are looking at time. So the expected outcomes as follows. We are going to define time. We are also going to describe the units used to measure time. We are also going to identify the instruments for measuring time. You should also realize the importance of learning about time. The other learning outcome is we are supposed to change the units of time from minutes to seconds and vice versa. And then also we are supposed to change the units of time from minutes to hours and also vice versa. Okay, before you look into the details of the lesson, I expect that you have the prior knowledge of simple addition, also simple multiplication, simple division, and you should also have the knowledge of the units of time that you learned in P2, P3, P4, P5. Okay, so with this knowledge, you shall find this lesson so easy and interesting. Let's move on. What is time? We have heard people saying, what is the time? You have also asked your friends, what time are we doing this? What time did this happen? What time did that happen? What is time? Just think, have you ever thought of that? Okay, so time is the measurement of how long an activity takes place. How long that event or activity takes. For example, we can say, how long does the bus take from Victoria to your place? If you live in Belaza, you say, how long does it take? Is it 1 hour? Is it 30 minutes? You can say again, how long does it take for rice to cook? You put your rice in the rice cooker, and then how long should you wait? Should you wait for 2 minutes? Should you wait for 10 minutes? 20 minutes? So that's time. You can also say, okay, my favorite movie, how long does it take? When I start watching my movie at 7, how long does it take? What time do I finish watching that? Okay? Look at your house. How long did it take to build that house? How long did it take to build that house? And your school? How long do you think it took the Ministry of Education to build that school? Okay. Another thing is, when you contract a virus for COVID-19, how long does it take for you to know that you have a virus? How long does it take for you to show the symptoms? That's time. How long do you sleep? You sleep at 8 p.m., you wake up at 6. How long is that? That is time. You can also say, when did Seychelles get its independence? When did Seychelles get its independence? Is it 1990? 1976? Yes, 1976, Seychelles got its independence. Time. You can also say, how old are you? How old are you? Are you 10 years old? 11 years old? 9 years old? All this is time. So time can be said to be the how long an activity takes. How long an activity takes. As you can see, it can take hours, it can take minutes, seconds, it can take days, it can take weeks. All that is time. Okay, having looked at what time is, units of time. What are the units of time? When we remember doing our measurements in length, we hear that length is measured in meters, centimeters, kilometers. What about mass? Mass is measured in what? Grams, kilograms. Now, what about time? Since we say that time is also a measurement, so what units do we use to measure time? Okay, the smallest unit to measure time is second. We say seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, 5 seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, and then after seconds, we go into minutes. We find that 60 seconds make 1 minute. 60 seconds make 1 minute. You go on with minutes, minutes, minutes. After 60 minutes, you get 1 hour. An hour is also a measure, it's a unit to measure time. So I've talked of seconds, minutes, hours. After hours, it goes to days. After 24 hours, it becomes 1 day, 2 days, 5 days. What about a week? After 7 days, it's a week. That's also a unit of measuring time. Months, years, decades, centuries. So all these are the units to measure time. Okay. At our level at the moment, we shall dwell very much on the first 3 or 4. That's seconds, minutes, hours, and days. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we've said that time is a measurement of how long an activity or an event takes. There must be something to use to measure time. For example, when we are measuring our mass, we use the scales, beam balance. When we are measuring length, what do we use? We use the ruler, measuring tape, all sorts of the instruments. Even in time also, there are some instruments that we use to measure time. We have clocks. In your class, you check in front, there's a clock. It tells you what's the time. Is it time for break now? Is it time to go home? Is it time to be in class? That's a clock. Wristwatch. Some of you have very beautiful wristwatches. The wristwatch is worn on your wrist. Okay? That is also an instrument to measure time. There are also timers. You have wondered. Have you ever wondered, you put your food in the microwave and then you just time it on its own without it checking on the clock, you find that it finishes the warming of the food. So those are the timers. Also the washing machine. You just put your clothes in the washing machine and then set it. I want my clothes to wash in 30 minutes. Just set it there. There is a timer there. It is used to measure. It's an instrument which was inset there to measure time. There are also chronometers. There are also stopwatches. The stopwatches are being used when you are doing sports, athletics, football, swimming games. Okay, so you just set it. I want to see how long, how fast I can be, and how long it will take me to run from this point to that point. That is the stopwatch. Okay, as you can see in the picture here, there are different types of instruments. There is also an hourglass. Long ago, when the clock was not yet invented, our old parents were using hourglass, whereby they were just checking the time from the glass. Okay, so let's proceed, and having looked at these instruments, now we proceed to the next step. Why do you think it is important to learn about time? Is it important at all? Do you think so? Okay. You have wondered how you go to Victoria, you wait at the bus terminus there, the bus not coming. And then someone just says, oh no, this bus is coming at 2:30. So time is used for planning. You are not supposed to do things anyhow, because you can waste time and you can delay. You can also be late. So if you know about time, you know when to catch the bus, when to catch the plane, when to go to school, when to take your medicine, when to do this and that. Or it is all planning. Time is also important for record keeping or remembering events. For example, how old are you? So you can remember, I was born in, when were you born? Were you born in 2009, 2010, 2011? Okay, so you can remember, what happened that time? Oh, there was this, there was that, there was this. So your mother, your father will explain to you, when you were born, when you were 1 year old, you were doing this. You started walking at this age. You started eating at this age. You started running at this age. That is time. It is important to know about time. It is also important to learn about time when you are involved in sports. You are supposed to know, how long does football take? A football match, it takes 90 minutes, 45, and then the other half, 45. So you learn about time and you know time when you are doing sports. Okay. So you also have to understand why different places have different times. You'd agree with me that here in Seychelles, it will be, let's say, 4 p.m. Elsewhere, it will not be 4 p.m. It will not be the same time in Kenya. It may not be the same time in Australia. It may not be the same time in America, Dubai. The time is different. Why is it so? So when you learn about time, you understand the importance of all these aspects. Okay, now we know the importance of time. Let's proceed. We have to know now how to change the units of time. We have talked of the units of time. There is minutes, seconds, hours. Okay. Now, let's try to change from minutes to seconds. From minutes to seconds. There's a question here which needs us to think. If 1 second, if 60 seconds are the same as 1 hour, 1 minute, if 60 seconds are the same as 1 minute, how many seconds will 3 minutes be? 60 seconds, it's 1 minute. What about 3 minutes? So, it goes like this. There are different methods that you can use to arrive at the correct answer. The first method is listing the seconds. You have 60 seconds, 1 minute, another 60 seconds, another minute, another 60 seconds, 1 minute. So, how many minutes do I have here? I have 3 minutes. Okay? So, the other thing is adding. You say 1 minute plus 1 minute plus 1 minute is what? 3 minutes. And then now you go to the second side. 60 seconds plus another 60 seconds plus another 60 seconds. How many seconds will it be? So it's 60 plus 60 plus 60. It's 180 seconds. So 180 seconds is the same as 3 minutes. That's method number 1. You can also use method number 2, which is 60 multiplied by 3, or 60 times 3, because there are 3 minutes. So the 60s should be counted 3 times. 60 times 3, which is 180. Let's look at another example. If 60 minutes is if 60 seconds is 1 minute, how many seconds will be 5 minutes? If 60 seconds is 1 minute, how many seconds will be 5 minutes? The same procedure. You can list the 1 minutes up to 5. 1 minute here, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, up to 5. Okay? And then, also there, on the other side, you list the 60s. 60 there, 60 there, 60 there, 60 there, 60 there. And then you count them. So you say 60 plus 60, you get 120. 120 plus 60, it's 180. 180 plus 60, you get 240. 240 plus the last 60, you get 300 seconds. So, 60 seconds multiplied by 5. 60 seconds multiplied by 5, it will give you 300 seconds. So we have changed the minutes to seconds. 3 minutes to seconds, 180 seconds. 5 minutes to seconds, it will be 300 seconds. Okay. We proceed. Let's now try to change the units from seconds to minutes. From seconds to minutes. We were changing from minutes to seconds. Now it's seconds to minutes. There's a question here. How many minutes are 360 seconds? how many minutes are 360 seconds? Here there will be 1 minute equals 60 seconds. What about 2 minutes? It's 120. What about 3? 180 seconds. 4 minutes, 240 minutes. 5 minutes, it will be 300 seconds. And then 6 minutes, 360 seconds. So you can list them like that. 1 is equal to 60. 2, it will be 120. 3, it will be 180. 4, it will be 240. 5 minutes, it will be 300. And then 6, it will be 360. If this seems to be quite complicated, you can say 360 seconds divide by 60, because a minute is 60. So you divide by 60. So you say 360 seconds divided by 60, it is the same as 6 minutes. So 6 minutes is equal to 360 seconds. Let's try this one. How many minutes are there in 150 seconds? How many minutes are there in 150 seconds? Let's look at this one. You will have 1 minute equals 60 seconds. 2 minutes equals 120. So they're asking us 150. It's not yet on 180 to have 3. So what do? So we say 150, which we have been given, you subtract 120, which you have found, because it does not go up to 3 minutes. So the difference, you find that there will be 30 seconds remaining. You have 2 minutes and then 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. The other method is you can say, how many 60s are there in 150? How many 60s are there in 150? So you say there are 2 60s and then remainder 30. There are 2 minutes, remainder 30. Or you can simply say 150 divided by 60 equals 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I hope you're getting there. Okay, so we have known how to change the minutes to seconds and also seconds to minutes. Let's move on. How to change hours to minutes. How to change hours to minutes. It's the same way in how to change minutes to seconds, because 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes. 60 seconds is the same as 1 minute. So there is 1 there, there is 60 there, on the part of seconds and minutes. And also on the part of hours and minutes, there is 1 there, and also there is 60. Now let's try. Let's check this one. How many minutes are there in 2 hours? How many minutes are there in 2 hours? We say 1 hour equals 60 minutes. And so another hour equals 60 minutes. Just add this. This hour, this 1 hour and 1 hour, it gives you 2 hours. 60 minutes there and 60 minutes there, it will give you 120. So you can say 2 hours is the same as 120 minutes. 2 hours is the same as 120 minutes. Or you can say 2 hours, which we have been given, multiplied by 60. 2 hours multiplied by 60, which is the same as 120 minutes. Another example. How many minutes are 4 hours and 45 minutes? So you add the hours up to 4, and then you add the 60 minutes up to 4 again. So 60 plus 60, 120. 120 plus another 60, it gives you 180. 180, you add another 60, it's 240. So you say 240 add 45 minutes, which you have been given, because they said 4 hours and 45 minutes. So you add the 45 minutes. So you say 240 plus 45 is the same as 285 minutes. The simpler method, you can say 4 times 60. Those 60 minutes should come 4 times. So 4 times 60 is 240. Then the 240, you add 45 minutes, it's 285 minutes. So that's how you change hours to minutes. You either add the number of hours and then also add the equivalent number of minutes also. Then you get the total. Or you can multiply 60 by that number of hours you have been given. Okay, so let's proceed. How about changing units of time from minutes to hours? The same way we changed seconds to minutes. If you remember, we said you can divide. There is a question here. How many hours are in 180 minutes? How many hours are in 180 minutes? So, you say 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes. 2 hours, 120 minutes. 3 hours, 180 minutes. So it means 180 minutes is 3 hours. Okay, and then that's method number 1. Method number 2, you can say 180, which you have been given, divide by 60, because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So you say 180 divide by 60. It gives you 3 hours. So 180 is the same as 3 hours. 180 is the same as 3 hours. The last example here. How many hours are 200 minutes? How many hours are 200 minutes? The same method, you say 1 hour, 60 minutes. 2 hours, it's 120 minutes. 3 hours, it's 180 minutes. 4 hours, it will go beyond what you have been given. So what do you do? So, you say, you subtract. You say 200, as we did earlier. You say 200 subtract 180. You will have 20 there. So the answer will be 3 hours, because 3 hours, it's 180. Then you say, for us to reach 200, how many are missing? So you need to add 20 on the 180 to have 200. So 200, it's 3 hours and 20 minutes. 3 hours and 20 minutes. The other way is you divide. You say, how many 60s are there in 200? How many 60s are there in 200? You find there are 3 60s in 200, and then there is a remainder 20. So that remainder is the minutes. So you say there are 3 hours and 20 minutes in 200 minutes. Good. So you can try practicing. In conclusion, we can say, in this lesson, we have learned what time is. What is time? We have defined time. Time is the measurement of how long the event takes. We have also looked at different units of time, where we looked at seconds, minutes, hours, and we proceeded to look at days, weeks, months, years, and so on. Okay, then we have also looked at the instruments for measuring time. Can you remember them? Yes, we said there is a clock, there is a watch, stopwatch, there are also timers. All those are the instruments. Okay, and then we have also learned how to change units of time from minutes to seconds, and also seconds to minutes. From minutes to hours, and hours to minutes. So to practice what you have learned, try to do this. Change 5 minutes to seconds. Change 5 minutes to seconds. You can write it in your practice book and do it on your free time. Change 5 minutes to seconds. Number 2, you can also change 130 seconds to minutes. You can also change 6 hours to minutes. Also change 230 minutes to hours. So if you have copied this in your practice book, I say thank you so much for watching the lesson. I hope you have enjoyed. Continue practicing your work. Stay home. Keep safe. Obey health rules. Let's fight COVID-19 together. Bye-bye.